Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into the show. It is day 4 of NFL free agency. We're well underway as multiple moves have happened all across the National Football League here today. We're here to talk about those, and the Philadelphia Eagles did just sign a tight end after signing a pass rusher earlier today. My name is Chase Sr., and no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. If you've been with us all 4 days of NFL free agency as part of our coverage here at Chat Sports, you're a real one. And I want you to type real one down in the comment section right now because we always appreciate you for supporting the show. And it's always great to hang out with all of you in every pocket of America and worldwide. So the news that just came across, and I think this is interesting for a couple of reasons, because the Philadelphia Eagles could move off of Dallas Goedert, who's going into the final year of his deal, 2025 non-guaranteed for his salary, is that the Eagles just signed tight end Harrison Bryant. He's signing with the Eagles on a 1-year deal up to $2 million. And does this signal that the Eagles soon could be moving off of Goedert, who is second all-time in franchise history in receiving yards in the playoffs behind Devontae Smith? While he struggled to stay healthy, he has been a clutch player and a really good tight end ever since the Eagles drafted him out of South Dakota State. And the Eagles have a rich history of hitting on tight ends, especially over the last 25 years. Through my entire upbringing, Philadelphia has always been very good at that position. Chad Lewis was a good player. L.J. Smith wasn't bad. Brent Selleck was a dog. Zach Ertz was great, probably the best tight end in franchise history. Zach Ertz paved the way for Dallas Goedert. And now, a little bit of an unknown for what the Eagles are going to do at that tight end position in 2025 coming off that Super Bowl. We've seen so much change for Philadelphia after winning the Super Bowl in dominant fashion against Kansas City. And Howie Roseman, in a way, is tweaking this roster. He's opening up some cash flow and salary cap space for future years, and he's making some changes to give the Eagles some financial and roster flexibility, and Dallas Goedert could be a part of that. Could Harrison Bryant be a part of that change? We'll certainly see, and we'll talk about that signing in further detail coming up here in just a bit. Some of the other signings that have happened across the National Football League here today: Yamin Davis, former Commander, signing with the New York Jets, 1-year deal. I did like him coming out of Kentucky. Jack Stoll, a former Eagle, more of a blocking tight end, following Kellen Moore to New Orleans. He's signing a 1-year deal, and Kellen Moore does have familiarity with him because Stoll was on the team for a short while for Philadelphia in 2024. David Andrews, he has spent his entire 10-year career with the New England Patriots, a multi-time team captain, been a part of some Super Bowl teams for New England as well. One of the most well-respected players within that organization. The Patriots are releasing him. He is coming off shoulder surgery, and so we'll see if he calls it quits, if he wants to continue playing. I talked about him earlier on the 49ers Report as a center option. KJ Britt signing with the Miami Dolphins on a 1-year deal. Anthony Walker, a 1-year contract. Josh Uche signing a 1-year deal with Philadelphia. I think he, in 2025, could have the type of impact that surprises a lot of people, similar to what Zach Bond did in 2024, where Bond was terrific. Nobody saw it coming. He had never played off-ball linebacker before, and then he turned into an All-Pro and a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. I'm not saying Uche is going to be in the running for an All-Pro team, but I think that Uche wouldn't surprise me at all if he has 7, 8, 9 sacks when you factor in a couple of things. Scheme fit, Vic Fangio being able to utilize him well. He has pedigree, a former second-round pick. He had 11.5 sacks back a couple of years ago. His pressure rate last year among edge rushers was 6th in the NFL, and he's playing on a front that's very good. So I think he gets a lot of one-on-one opportunities. I like the body type, and I like what he's been able to show in his NFL career. And according to reports, Howie Roseman signing him for like $1.5 million. And so that seems to be a really good value play for Philadelphia. Mason Rudolph heading back to the Pittsburgh Steelers on a 2-year, $8 million deal, $4.5 million in guaranteed money. Isaac Yiadom, a former Niner and a former Saint before that, going back to New Orleans on a 3-year, $9 million deal worth just under $5 million in guaranteed money. He was the Niners' cornerback 3 a year ago. And then when he had to fill in for Marshawn Lattimore 2 seasons ago with New Orleans, he actually played very well and analytically was very good. KJ Osborne signing a 1-year deal with Washington. Scotty Miller, wide receiver who has some returnability, inking a 1-year contract with Pittsburgh. Of note, when talking about the Steelers, former Niners fullback Kyle Juszczyk visiting with Pittsburgh today. Not a lot of teams utilize a fullback, but Pittsburgh showing some interest in one of the best fullbacks in the history of the NFL. Will Clapp, the center, signing with the New Orleans Saints as Kellen Moore brings in another player. Raheem Mostert did say the other day he had some conversations with the Niners. San Francisco was a possibility for a reunion. Instead, he's going to Las Vegas where he has familiarity with Chip Kelly. 1-year, $2.1 million deal for him. Michael Dieter, center. Noah Brown, wide receiver, both signing deals with Washington after the surprise season that they embarked on. Deshaun Hand, defensive tackle, 1-year deal up to $3+ million with the Chargers. Josh Ross, the linebacker, signing a 1-year contract with Seattle. Brandon Allen, no longer a Niner. Thank God. 1-year deal, full details we'll see, but not going to be worth a lot of money. The Titans, this is the first quarterback that they've picked up so far in free agency. And given them making moves along the offensive line in free agency, I think Tennessee is going to take Cam Ward with the number 1 overall pick. The move that we're about to talk about in further detail, for those of you watching on Eagles Now, Harrison Bryant, the tight end, signing a 1-year, $2 million deal with Philadelphia. Sheldon Day, 1-year contract with Washington. And then Malik Collins, who was let go by the Niners, signing with the Cleveland Browns. That news made official yesterday. I think he's going to get $10 million per year is what I was seeing for the former Niners and Texans defensive tackle who also played for the Las Vegas Raiders. For those of you watching on Eagles Now, Eagles Super Bowl gear is available. Head to chatsports.com/EaglesSB. Shirts, hats, hoodies, jerseys, everything that you want available right now. It's chatsports.com/EaglesSB. That link is down in the chat right now. And then for those of you watching on the Niners Report, this Niners polo, it's also on sale. Was $80, now on sale for $43. Chatsports.com/49polo. That link is also in the chat if you want to hop on board that deal. So what we're about to talk about here is the signing of Harrison Bryant. I want you to grade it for me down in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know. Played with the Browns for a few years. Then Bryant played for the Raiders last year. 78 games, 33 starts, 140 targets in his career, 98 catches, 877 yards, 10 touchdowns. Year by year, touchdowns from his rookie year until now, 3, 3, 1, 3, and 0. His catches year by year, 24, 21, 31, 13, 9. So the last 2 years, he's been seldom used at that tight end spot for Cleveland and Las Vegas. Does have some good size, 6'5", 231 pounds. He was drafted by the Browns in the 4th round of the 2020 NFL Draft, coming out of Florida Atlantic. And so he's a pretty good athlete at that size. And, of course, as we're about to talk about, some uncertainty around Dallas Goedert and his future with Philadelphia. Tyrick is giving it a C down in the comment section. Surf Bones saying, I hope the Niners sign Azeez Ojulari. I talked about him earlier today, and I'm with you. I hope San Francisco pivots from Joey Bosa to Azeez Ojulari. Young player, been injured a lot, but he could still get after the quarterback, and if he could stay healthy, I think that he can do it at a really high level. Carol Hosey saying, go Birds. Our guy Jonathan Efrog, the big dog, he's here and he's back. I'll tell you this, if you send in a $50 super chat right now, Jonathan Efrog, we'll get it started with either a beer bong or a shotgun, and I'll let you choose. Here's our Super Chat menu. All Super Chats get a shout out. $20 as part of our jersey raffle. If you send in $20 or more, you get in the running to win a jersey from us. $50 for a beer bong, $100 for a shotgun. If you send in a $200 Super Chat, you'll automatically win a jersey from us. That right there is our Super Chat menu. It goes a long way in supporting everything that we do here on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Joe Harris saying this is a terrible free agency window so far. I would say across the entire NFL, it's lacked excitement as compared to previous years. But a big part of that, a lot of marquee free agents did not hit the open market. A lot of them were either franchise tagged, like Trey Smith and T. Higgins. A lot of other players were re-signed by their teams. And so that watered down the free agency pool a little bit. And some big dominoes still haven't fallen. We're not sure where Aaron Rodgers is going to play. Russell Wilson just concluded his visit with the Cleveland Browns. He's now going to visit with the New York Giants. But a lot of star players were not available in free agency. And that's why this period has been a little bit thin. And if you're saying that pertaining to the Eagles, they've been a little bit silent on the free agency front. There's no doubt about it. But there wasn't really a reason for them to be too active. I mean, they weren't going to pay $26 million per year for Milton Williams, and good on Milton Williams for accepting that deal. Josh Sweat got $19 million per year. You can't blame him. Isaiah Rodgers got good guaranteed money. The one head-scratcher on top of Rodgers, because I would have given him that contract, was Darius Slay. He got $10 million guaranteed from Pittsburgh. It's not that much on a one-year, $10 million contract for an elite corner when you factor in Charvarius Ward and Carlton Davis signed for $20 million per season. And I think that Darius Slay is a better player. So $50 Super Chat. I'll either do a beer bong or a shotgun. It's a thirsty Thursday. We're thirsty, and we're ready to party here for our Day 4 NFL Free Agency Special. I need everybody watching right now to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. We're always shooting for a 50% viewer participation rate. Jonathan E. Frog, a $50 Super Chat. He makes it rain. And he said, you know what, Chase? Before you talk about Harrison Bryant, I need you to shotgun that beer. All right, let's do it.
Jonathan E. Frog making it rain. Come on.
E-Frog, one of our Super Chat MVPs yesterday. Also a winner of a jersey. My man. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Shotgun for E-Frog and everybody else who's tuned in.
Let's go, baby. No better way to start off the stream. Come on.
Woo! The party continues, baby. Love what Bearded Roofer said. Are the Niners pulling a Doge on their roster? They're purging. That is for sure. And that's a great comment right there. Good stuff. All right, so Eagles now up to $70 in Super Chats. On the 49ers report, nobody has sent in a Super Chat yet. Where's our guy, Dragon Slayer, Anthony Mondragon, our Super Chat MVP of the week? Jabai, is he really chugging the beer, or is it near beer? It's a Happy Dad, which is 5% alcohol by volume, so a little bit more than a light beer. All right, let's do this. Harrison Bryant signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's talk about it here on Eagles Now as we continue to push forward Day 4 of NFL free agency. Whenever there's a big move that happens across the NFL, we talk about it right here on the show. Continue to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and hang out with us here on the program. Shout out to the recent commenter club. I see Mudrunner, Gangrene, Big Chungus, Sean Brock, Michael Baldwin, Lai Wim, 75 Dignan, Mac Daddy sending in some super chats on the 49ers side of things. Nick Dofer is in the building as well. That $25 that we just got in on super chats on the Niners report, we'll get to those here momentarily. But for now, let's talk about the most recent signing across the National Football League, and that's Harrison Bryant to the Philadelphia Eagles. Day 4 of NFL free agency continues to roll on, and the most recent move that was made across the NFL and for the Philadelphia Eagles is this one right here. Harrison Bryant, tight end, signing with the Eagles on a 1-year, up to $2 million contract. We're going to talk about this because there are some implications here that are pretty significant for Philadelphia going into 2025. They have lost a lot of players, and could another Eagles legend be on his way out at the tight end position? You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. My name is Chase Sr. As always, thank you so much for supporting the show. It was a slow start to NFL free agency for general manager Howie Roseman, but things have really started to pick up as the Eagles now in the last 2 days, in less than 24 hours, after having not signed any external free agents the first few days of free agency, have now signed 3 players who were not on the team last year. Before we talk about this, we are a little more than 400 people away from 116,000 subscribers. Eagles Now has been humming. The channel has been hot. We give you the most elite Eagles coverage right here on YouTube. So you know what I need you to do, and you know what you should do. Go on down and hit that subscribe button. So Harrison Bryant, the most recent player, signing with the Philadelphia Eagles on that 1-year, aforementioned $2 million contract. And going into 2025, the status of longtime Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert is up in the air. He has been an Eagles legend. He is second all-time in franchise history in postseason receiving yards. While he has dealt with a lot of injuries here and there, none of them too significant, he has missed a lot of time. And at 30 years old, coming off a spectacular playoff run, by the way, in which he was highly impactful for Philadelphia en route to winning the Super Bowl, he is entering the final year of his deal. He has no more guaranteed money left. And at 30 years old, he wants a new deal. Maybe he wants some of that money guaranteed. He could want a contract extension, and Philadelphia isn't willing to budge on that because Howie Roseman clearly is managing the books for now and in the future. He's keeping in mind that the Eagles at some point are going to have to pay some of their homegrown players at positions that they really value. Center Cam Jurgens, entering the final year of his rookie contract. Reed Blankenship, due for a deal. Jalen Carter is going to get a salary between $30 and $40 million per season. Nolan Smith, a young player who last year looked to be a Pro Bowl level edge rusher. And so Howie Roseman is trying to allocate money for the future on top of Philadelphia compiling a lot of draft picks. In the next 2 drafts, they have 20 slotted selections, 11 of them inside the first 4 rounds. And so it's easy to see why Howie Roseman is tinkering with this team, and Dallas Goedert could be a reason for that and a part of that. And there's been a lot of talk that the Eagles could either trade him or release him. There are financial implications with both. Goedert is a player who, when on the field, has been highly productive. He has been a terrific tight end over the course of his career. The Eagles ushered in a new era at the tight end spot by drafting him in 2018 out of South Dakota State. They then let go of Zach Ertz, the best tight end in franchise history, shortly thereafter, and Goedert has gone on to have a terrific career with Philadelphia over the last 7 years. The issue with him, he has missed a lot of time. Games played by year, 16, 15, 11, 15, 12, 14, 10. None of those injuries have been catastrophic, but if Dallas Goedert wants a new deal, and he's already a top 5 highest paid tight end in the NFL, and he's been injured a lot, and he's 30 years old, and the Eagles are trying to find ways to manipulate the cap and save some money, it seems as though they don't think it's smart or wise to extend Goedert. And for Goedert, you could see why he wants a contract extension, or at the very least, wants some of that money guaranteed. It's also easy to see why Philadelphia isn't willing to fork that cash over. So I say all of that to lead me into this. Does the Harrison Bryant signing have anything to do with Dallas Goedert? You now have Harrison Bryant and Grant Calcaterra as 2 tight ends on this Eagles roster. And this is also a very deep tight end class. When we were at the NFL Combine a couple of weeks ago in Indianapolis, the Eagles met with multiple tight ends in this really deep tight end class. That includes Mason Taylor out of LSU, Gunnar Helm out of Texas. There are some ties from Philadelphia. Looking at Bowling Green State tight end Harold Fannin, because the Eagles hired his college head coach, Scott Loeffler, as their new quarterbacks coach. As for Harrison Bryant here, he was a 4th-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Florida Atlantic by the Cleveland Browns. He's a good athlete, good size, at 6'5", 230 pounds. He's 26 years old, soon to turn 27 on April 23rd. And this isn't quite a Jack Stoll level tight end signing. Harrison Bryant's a little bit better than that, and he's been used more as a pass catcher, but it's not like he's been an all-world tight end by any means. Year by year, 38 targets, 24 catches, 238 yards as a rookie with 3 touchdowns. Year 2, 28 targets, 21 catches, 3 touchdowns. Year 3, 42 targets, 31 catches, 1 touchdown. Year 4, 13 catches, 81 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then this past year with the Las Vegas Raiders, after spending the first 4 years of his career with the Cleveland Browns, targeted only 12 times, caught 9 balls for 86 yards and no touchdowns. So his career numbers up to this point, and he's been pretty durable as well, 78 games, 33 starts, 140 targets, 98 catches, 877 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He'll give you some blocking ability. He'll give you some red zone ability as being a big athletic target along the goal line and inside that red area, but he's not going to be the Eagles' answer to be a starting tight end. He's more of a backup option at that tight end spot. And for an offense and an organization that likes to utilize the tight end position, this can't be the Eagles' plan in 2025. Now, if you draft a rookie tight end in the first 3 rounds, and you have that rookie tight end with Grant Calcaterra, who's capable as a pass catcher, really good athlete, and Harrison Bryant, I'm okay with that tight end room because you have a young developmental player if you draft him, and you're able to save a lot of money if you move off of Dallas Goedert. So some thoughts there with the Eagles' decision here to sign Harrison Bryant. Grade the signing, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down in the comment section what you're thinking here. Always appreciate everybody sharing their thoughts. Eagles Super Bowl gear, by the way, available thanks to our homies at Fanatics. It's chatsports.com/EaglesSB. They have everything that you need and want. And even if you've gotten gear already, get some more. Chatsports.com/EaglesSB. Hats, shirts, hoodies, jerseys, all types of merchandise for your man cave. If you've got that poppin', we'll put that link down below in the comment section and in the description of today's show. As for the moves that the Eagles have made up to this point, as we're well into day 4 of free agency, Philadelphia signing Saquon Barkley to a 2-year, $41.2 million contract extension. Zach Bond, 3 years, $51. Dorian Thompson-Robinson traded from Cleveland to Philadelphia. The Browns get Kenny Pickett. The Eagles also get a 5th-round pick. It's Tanner McKee time to be QB2. Kenyon Green, he was involved in that C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade, a former first-round pick who now enrolls in Jeff Stoutland University. The Eagles bringing back Ben Van Sumeren on a 1-year deal. He could play linebacker, good special teams player. He could play a little fullback. Late yesterday, the Eagles adding a running back to the running back room alongside Saquon Barkley and Will Shipley. A.J. Dillon, 1-year contract. Josh Uche, 1-year deal. Very talented edge rusher. And Harrison Bryant, the most recent move for the Eagles, and Howie Roseman, a 1-year deal up to $2 million. At this point, you can't really complain about deals that are this cheap, and that's for all teams across the entire National Football League. Don't forget to hit that sub button. Whenever there's a move, I talk about it right here on the show. Nobody does it like we do it, and the real ones know that. Oh! Jonathan Efrog making it rain again. A $100 super chat. Already did the shotgun for Jonathan Efrog, but now got to take down the beer bong as well. Jonathan, you continue to be one of our Super Chat MVPs this week. Probably the Super Chat MVP on Eagles Now. So let's take down a little beer bong We've got the beer boot ready to roll. 3 beers, 1 boot. Miller Lite in there. Not a sponsor, but they should be. Jonathan Efrog, he's sponsoring the show pretty much with the $100 super chat.
Jonathan.
All right. So that's a drink for Jonathan. Mac Daddy with the 5. What's up, fellas? Hey, do you know how long the 49ers will have to carry all that dead cap money? So, Mac Daddy, I think it's $86 million is the dead cap charge. They can absorb all of that this year. And it seems as though that is going to be their plan. The Eagles had a high dead cap charge last year. They absorbed it, still won the Super Bowl. Buffalo Bills, more than $30 million. And they actually improved their record from 11-6 to 13-4, and they made it to the AFC Championship game. And so if the Niners eat all of that, they will have a bunch of cap space for next year instead of spreading that money out over the course of multiple seasons. 75 Dignan, a $20 super chat. It's a raffle ticket right there for the jersey. He says bang, bang. And then 75, another $20 super chat saying this. Let's go, faithful. Golden raffle ticket, bang, bang. Let's give them 4 raffle tickets right there for a couple of $20 super chats. Candy getting in on the action with the $20 super chat. Chase and Chip. Another great day with Chat Sports. Niners, Candy, thanks for your continued support of the show. Peter Thurman, a $20 super chat. He says, let's go, Birds. And then look at this. Hold on. First, we got to hit this one. Cool Marin, $10. Let's go, Birds. I'm a ride or die Eagles fan, but I think this is a good move. But I think that there is going to be something that happens with Dallas Goedert. Back to a vetman contract. Here's the thing. I don't think Dallas Goedert will take or accept a veteran minimum contract because he's already under contract for 1 more year. If the Eagles wanted to offer him a new deal, it would be the vetman. He's not accepting that. He's too good of a player to accept that, and I don't blame him for saying no. How about this? Jonathan Efron makes it rain again for Chip. That's a drink for Chip.
All right. I got to go get my...
Here,
do you have one over there?
I got one right here for you. That's going to be a happy dad for Chip. Not a sponsor, but they should be. Jonathan Efrog. We're up to $300 in super chats on Eagles now. 65 on the Niners report. So, last 2 days, it's been the 49ers report is won. But now, Eagles now, out to a big advantage. All right.
I think Jonathan Efrog saw what Dragon Slayer was doing on Niners yesterday and said, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
I got a little bit too. Hold on.
I'm finna go in, is what he said. Here you go, Chip. Paul George consulting with doctors on treatment options for his groin and knee injuries, including a possible procedure. A decision is expected early next week.
Yeah, he's done. Shut him down.
Shut him down. Shut him down and shut the Sixer season down. What a joke.
All right. Jonathan, about to do this beer bong for you here. Let me just go grab the beer bong real quick.
You know, this is pretty interesting here. Harrison Bryant, shout out to Anthony DeBona, does a good job covering the Eagles. Cleveland utilized Bryant as a runner in short yardage scenarios, including taking snaps and sneaking the ball for first downs. He had 6 rushing attempts, and 5 of them went for first downs. Interesting. Could he be the quarterback for some brotherly shove plays? Very interesting. All right. Interesting. Bearded Roofer, which kickers are available? Man, when I tell you this kicker free agency class is bad, it is bad. All right. Top kicker free agents. Brandon McManus re-signed with the Packers. Nick Folk is 40. Eddie Pinheiro is 29. Austin Siebert, 28. Matt Prater, 41. Michael Badgley, 30. Joey Sly, 29. It is not a good free agency class at all at the kicker position. Eugene Phoenix, any top kicker draft prospects? Yeah, we could take a look at that. We could take a look at that. The best kicker in the draft is Andres Borregales out of Miami. The Niners met with him at the East-West Shrine Bowl. Ben Sauls went to Pitt. He's another highly graded kicker. And then Ryan Fitzgerald out of Florida State is probably the third best kicker in the class. Gino Garcia, Texas Tech, and Tyler Loop out of Arizona, kind of rounding out the top 5 kickers in this upcoming draft class. But it's not a great free agency crop, and it's really just an okay kicker crop. Although every single year, there's always a kicker that kind of comes out of nowhere and is able to become a good place kicker in the NFL. Let's take a look at our Super Chat menu here. Just had another $20 Super Chat come in from 75 Dignan. So he once again gets a raffle ticket to win a jersey here on the show. 50 for a beer bong, 100 for a shotgun. You send in $200, you're going to get an automatic jersey from us. Jonathan Efrog, another 50. Jonathan Efrog is challenging Dragon Slayer from yesterday a little bit.
Jonathan. Got my beer bong ready for you, Jonathan. Better pour it up.
Yeah, Chip owes you a beer bong. I'm going to give you a drink right here. And I did get a message a little while ago from Avery. She said, let me know if you want to break from shotgunning. I'll take over for you. So let's do this. $100 Super Chat. Avery comes on to shotgun, and I'll do another beer bong. $100 Super Chat, Avery shotgun, and I'll do a beer bong here.
Here's that 50.
Here's that 50 from Jonathan Efrog. Making it rain. Making it rain.
And then...
Efrog! 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 He said there, here's 100. Jonathan Efrog. What a guy.
Legend.
This is what I'm going to do. So, yesterday and the day before, Dragon Slayer was sending in stupid Super Chats and Venmos, and we're going to give him this full-size Niners helmet. Let me do this for Jonathan Efrog. Yesterday, Efrog won a jersey from us with all the big-time Super Chats. I'm here to announce officially, Efrog, we're going to send you this 2-time Super Bowl champions sign that you can put in your house somewhere. So you have officially won this thanks to all of your support here on the show. Thank you so much.
That's dope, baby.
And Candy Winslow, if you're watching, do you want a 49ers Report hat? If you do, I will send you one. I checked. We have some left. You've been a big-time Super Chatter all week, and I got you covered on that if that's what you want. So E-Frog. It's not quite a blanket. It's more of like something that I would put on your wall.
It's like almost like a flag,
Yeah, it's almost like a flag, but not quite. It's just something that you put on your wall. So, honestly, if you could frame this thing, it'd be sick. If not, if you just want to kind of nail it to your wall or hang it up, it would look really cool. I mean, I'm like 6 foot, 200 pounds, and it's like pretty big, just to give you kind of a look at how big it is. I'll even take a step back. It's pretty large. So that'll take up a good amount of space on your wall. When people support the show, we like to do kind things for the real ones who support the program. So Jonathan E-Frog, all of your Super Chat support this week, we're going to send you that. Congratulations. And again, thanks so much for supporting the show.
All right, Jonathan. Here's
Leon Sandcastle tapestry. I guess it kind of is a tapestry.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what,
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
It's tapestry, but it's not your typical,
it's not
tapestry you'd see like a girl hang
a
up.
hipster. Yeah. Or a girl at like a college apartment.
College girl.
Yeah, it's not like that typical thing. But it's very much like that. Leon Sandcastle, thanks for picking us up. Day 4, free agency. We're running on fumes, and the energy levels are low, and we're a little bit delirious. We've given you great coverage, though. I'll tell you that. Got to dig deep, give you some great content. But sometimes the words just don't come to you. So tapestry is pretty much what it is. Candy! $20 Super Chat. All right, we'll get you a hat sent. And let me just mark that down. I'll put it in my notes so I don't forget. So we'll go Candy. We'll get you that hat. Put that down there. Eagles now up to $451 in Super Chats. Chip, I think it's a good time to put up the Super Chat battle here.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one. Real quick, here's that 20 from Candy that Chase just mentioned. And our Super Chat battle. We've had some battles, man, through these first 3 days. And it kind of seems like there's usually one channel that gets off to a hot start. And today, that just happens to be Eagles Now, who gets another 20 from Jonathan E-Frog.
Jonathan E-Frog, can I get the wheel spots? Of course, brother. Of course you can get the wheel spots.
Yeah, I'll be tallying up. Every 20 is an entry, so you got like 5, 10, 15... Got like around 20 entries so far. Around there. All right, here's my beer bong for you. Jonathan with another 20. Back-to-back 20s. Now he says make it 21. That's another one. That's another one.
Another one.
Another one. All right, here we go, Jonathan. Here you go.
DJ Khaled would say.
You guys should do a show from Levi's Stadium. I imagine doing a show from one of the stadiums. That would be electric. But we give you great coverage here, baby. Studios. Cheers, everybody. Jonathan, I'm at my limit. You've already done plenty, Jonathan. You've already done plenty. Cheers.
There you go, Chip.
Oh, they're not going out quite as fast as they were yesterday.
No. But if we have a few, maybe they will start to go down a little bit quicker.
Is that a pea cup? No, it's a beer bong.
Come on now. It's a Meerbonga.
It's a Meerbonga. It's a mermaid beer bong. Meerbonga. Chase, you should give Frog a lap dance.
I am not going to do that. I'll show a lot of love to Jonathan E-Frog, but giving him a lap dance is not something that I will do.
That was the words of C. Vanny in the chat. That was not. I did not just make that up, by the way.
Cameron Edsel, 75 Dignan, sending in some super chats here. 75 Dignan said, "Give me a Shambong chase." I got you. I got you, 75.
Here are these 220s we got from Jonathan. So I'll add up all your wheel spins here in a sec.
Cheers.
And then here's Cam Ezel. Very curious to see Mac with the starters. QB battle coming soon. There's no QB battle, man. There's no QB battle. Mac is the backup. I know he has, the ties to, Shanahan likes him and had a good rookie year.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about this here. Cameron Edsel, I'm very curious to see Mac with the starters. Quarterback battle coming soon. It's not going to be a quarterback battle, and I'm a fan of the Mac Jones signing too. Like, the quarterbacks who have worked out the best under Kyle Shanahan, they get rid of the ball on time, accurately, they process well, and that's what Brock Purdy has done at a really high level. And think about what Kyle Shanahan's been able to do with the likes of C.J. Beathard and Jimmy Garoppolo and Nick Mullins and Brock Purdy. And so I think that Mac Jones looks at the Niners and getting coached by Kyle Shanahan as an opportunity to resurrect his career. Also of note, Mick Lombardi was on the Patriots staff when Mac Jones was a Pro Bowler as a rookie. And so there's some coaching familiarity there as well. Kyle Shanahan really liked him in the pre-draft process. Mac Jones' final year at Alabama, he threw 40 touchdowns and 4 picks. I know that team was loaded when they won the Natty, but that's still insane production. And he's a Kyle Shanahan type of quarterback. So I'm excited to see Shanahan work with him to try to get his career back on track. All right, Jonathan E. Frog sent in the $100 super chat right after we had said, hey, Avery said she'll do a shotgun for a $100 super chat. E-Frog, 10 seconds later, said, here you go. So Avery's back. She was a legend on yesterday's show. Survived. That's how we're all kind of feeling. Myself and Chip, we were like, oh, these shotguns not going down as fast as they were yesterday. So, yeah, that too. Have not heard from Dragon Slayer in the chat, but Dragon Slayer for here, you'd be happy to know that Avery is in studio. So here you go. I did say that I would do a Shambong with you, so let me join you on that. You can come on camera. Avery, back in the building. Here we go. Just another day. This is what we do. Can't be scared. A little bubble. All right. Cheers to everybody. Free agency rolls on. Let's go. Harder than yesterday? Much harder. Yeah. We're all there. Yeah, Chip was about double the amount of time. Yeah, still alive, but I'm barely breathing. That's all of us at Chat Sports. That's all of us at the Compass, you would say. All right, clap it up for Avery. Type AP in the chat. Thanks, legend. Appreciate you. 75 Dignan. Uh-oh, he said a happy dad for Chipper. Woo. Bang, bang. Let's do this. How about if somebody else sends in a 50 on either channel? I'll do another shotgun, and I'll do it for Chip. And then we have a couple of super chats that came in on Eagles that we can start to get to here as well. And if you're just joining us, Harrison Bryant, tight end, signing with the Eagles, 1-year deal up to $2 million. 6'5", good size. Nah, if we need him, we'll just call on you. Thanks, legend.
75. I'm not doing a whole beer bong, but I'll give you some sips. I'll give you some sits, 75.
Okay, bet.
Cheers.
Cheers. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Harrison Bryant. So, not a bad backup tight end. Has good size at 6'5", 230. He was a 4th-round pick by Cleveland in 2020. He has 98 catches for 877 yards and 10 touchdowns. over his 5-year career, first 4 with Cleveland, last year with Las Vegas. Our Raiders host, Mitchell Renz, was saying, dang, I wanted him back with the Raiders as a backup tight end behind Brock Bowers. What's interesting about Harrison Bryant is that Cleveland used him in short yardage situations where he would serve as the quarterback sneaker. And so I'm wondering if the Eagles have a plan here. And it could go a couple of different ways. Do they have a feeling that the brotherly shove is going to be outlawed? If that's the case, is that why they've signed A.J. Dillon and Harrison Bryant for short yardage situations? The other thought is this. Do they want to save Jalen Hurts a little bit and not have him as the quarterback on the brotherly shove plays to try to save his legs? And if that's the case, is that why you bring in Harrison Bryant as a little bit of a weapon there in addition to A.J. Dillon? Those are some just out-of-the-box creative thoughts that I have with this. Something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. John Gold, if I got a fat NFL contract, I would buy Chat Sports. Chat Sports would go for some decent coin. Chase, if I send a 100, will you and Chip do a shot of Clase Azula next time? Man, I can't promise that because we'd have to go out and get it. We can take a shot of something that we have here. We might have tequila. It's definitely not your Class A. That is for sure. But Chip and I could both take a shot for you if you send in that 100. Couple more super chats. Jack in the Box is a first time super chatter. Long time lurker, first time chatter. Hear me out. Keely Ringo to safety, sign Asante Samuel Jr., then hit the draft hard. You know, that is pretty interesting. I don't know if you need to move Keely Ringo to safety. I think Keely Ringo has all of the athletic traits that you need to be a solid corner in this league. I really liked how he tested in the pre-draft process. At 6'1", 207, he ran a sub-4 40-yard dash. And so that speed at the corner spot, I think, is so valuable. And I just think he has more natural ability to play the corner position. He can be physical. He can run. When we've seen him play corner his first 2 years, obviously limited sample size, I think he's played pretty well at that cornerback position. And I do think that the Eagles are somewhat high on Sidney Brown. I like what he was able to do as a rookie before that ACL tear. He was awesome as a special teamer this past year once he came off of that knee injury. And if they have Sidney Brown, Reed Blankenship back there, and they sign a Justin Simmons for that veteran leadership role that's now vacant with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson getting traded, it's a solid safety room. And also keep in mind, they met with some really good safeties at the NFL Combine, and they could draft one at 32. C. Vanny, $5. Chase, I've become a big fan. You're the best. Frog wants a lap dog. Nice. You want a lap dog, not a lap dance. Somebody suggested I give Frog a lap dance. If he wants a lap dog, that's totally fine. I'm not going to be his lap dog, but he can get a lap dog. Anyway, in all seriousness, see Vanny. Vanny. Thank you so much for being a big fan. Myself and Chip, we appreciate you and all the viewers who tune into the program, support us and everything that we do. You're all the best. And if that's you surfing, rip those waves and shred gnar. Nick Dolfer, a $50 super chat. Nick Dolfer. San Francisco. I apologize. I am long overdue. 49ers for life, brother. You never got to apologize. You never got to apologize. I see some people talking dogs in the comment section. What's your favorite breed of dog? Let me know in the comments. Nick Dolfer said boxers are the best dogs. What is your favorite breed of dog? Oh! Paul C. $100 super chat. He said, I'm trying to get y'all more drunk than y'all's time in NOLA, brother. Thank you, Chip, and everybody at Chat Sports. Keep doing what y'all have been doing, brother. Cheers. You know what's funny about the New Orleans trip? And, man, I'll tell you what, like, during a week like Super Bowl week, it's content all day. Hustling all day. On your feet all day. Now, me and Chip kind of had different schedules. He was spending a lot of time on Radio Row. I spent some time on Radio Row, but a bulk of my duties was going to the Eagles Hotel, the Chiefs Hotel for media availability, doing interviews with a bunch of players, and you saw us do all of that with the content on the show. And then we're doing regular shows. We're going live. We went live a couple of times, and we probably worked from like 8 to 7. But after that, when you're in a cultural city like New Orleans, you got to hit the town a little bit. You got to hit Bourbon Street. So then there were multiple nights where we were out until, 12 o'clock, 1. We'd come home. We'd watch some Dave Chappelle stand-up to get some laughs before going to bed, get like 6 hours of sleep, and then you're back at it. I did not recover from that week for a little while. Yes, Tyler Jones can confirm. And then I came in for the watch party on Sunday after we drove back on Friday, had a rest day Saturday, and then I had the adrenaline flowing for the Super Bowl. Then the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, dead tired. And then Chip and I on Thursday fly back to Philly for the parade. And then we're working on fumes there, but you still got that adrenaline going. Then we were able to reset a little bit. Then we go to Indianapolis for the NFL Combine. And that was probably a longer, more arduous week than the Super Bowl because we're getting all types of content and we're interviewing draft prospects and our Airbnb got burglarized. So from an emotional toll standpoint, Tyler Jones can confirm on that as well. Even though he wasn't there, he heard about it. Yeah, it was a long week. But Paul C, we'll try to take some shots. Yeah. Paul C, we'll try to, I'll send a message into our Slack to see if we can take some shots. If not, I'm going to give you a shotgun right now. I'm going to give Nick Dolfer a shotgun right now as well.
Let's go.
I'd say like maybe 2 nights we were kind of sauced in New Orleans, but we kept it in check.
Yeah, there was the night where we all got the Hurricanes.
The Hurricanes. That was Wednesday night. Monday, Tuesday, we were hustling hard. Wednesday, we went out on Bourbon, went hard. Thursday, that's when James joined us, and that's when we were doing some fan content along Bourbon
Right.
Street.
It was those 2 nights where, because then we left Friday, right?
Yeah. Wednesday was the night we went the hardest.
Yeah.
Hey, for Paul, here's a shotgun for the shot, and then for Nick Dolfer, this is for you as well.
Cheers. Cheers to y'all.
So cold. Did you bring back the tasty cakes after the parade? No tasty cakes, but I was hitting Wawa like crazy. My boy Philly D, who a lot of the real ones know here on the show, that's Birds in the Barn, the Westchester gang. His apartment is above the Wawa on South Street, and so I was hitting that Wawa a lot. You already know. Will Tilton, who scheduled the Airbnb? Our boss.
Didn't know that it was a bad area of Indy.
See, here's the thing. Last year at the Combine, we stayed in the same area, a couple blocks away, perfectly fine. But as anybody knows, this is how city life goes. You go a couple blocks in a city, and the atmosphere can change very, very quickly. And so the area that we were staying in, a couple blocks away from where we were last year, which was perfect, was not good. You know what's crazy? I didn't even say this. We got burglarized on Tuesday night of the NFL Combine. Less than 24 hours before that, 2:15 a.m. You know what I wake up to? 3 gunshots and somebody got killed in front of our Airbnb. That probably should have been the signal that we should have gotten the F out of there. And then because it was so deep into Combine Week, which was a huge week for the city of Indianapolis, we couldn't really get a good hotel. So we were at a very low-end La Quinta. And you know what the craziest thing, too, is? Following us staying at that ghetto La Quinta, every La Quinta that I've seen since then is really nice. I've probably passed 10 so far just in me driving around. Probably like 7 on the way back from Indy. And then I've seen a few here in the Dallas area. And they're all like renovated and nice. Ours in Indy, not great. Good service from the people at the front desk. But it wasn't great. Anyway, made for a good story. That's for sure. Joseph Carr, $5 super chat. He is a first time super chatter. He said, go Birds. C. Vanny, spell check. Damn, Frog wants a lap dance. Lap dog or a lap dance? He can have both. Not for me, though. Joseph Carr, let's get it. I love the chat. Hey, I love the jersey, man. Is that a Brian Dawkins jersey? That's what it's looking like. C. Vanny, Surfer C. That's what we'll call you from now on. Surfer C. So that's me, brother. 55 years old, still surfing, throwing the ball 55 yards, built in Philly. Hey, man, me and you should have a throw-off. The last time Chip and I went outside the studios here to throw a football, I think I chucked it 55-60. So you and me both, we can sling it. Sick, $2. Change it up, Chase. Can you guess my old username? I have no idea. There's no way for me to tell.
Yeah, I don't know.
W. Madsick. Who is W. Madsick?
Let us know.
Because now you got a profile picture, too. Joe Bay said Philly has the best soft pretzels. And that's coming in on the Niners report. Yes, they have awesome soft pretzels. Great soft pretzels.
Soft pretzel day back in elementary school. I used to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, those Philly soft pretzels, man. They're delicious. All right. So we're watching the ACC tournament here on the TV in Studio L at the Chat Sports Studios. No moves have really happened since the Harrison Bryant signing, right?
There's been a few. We can run through
There's been a few. All right, we can go through some of the recent signings here. 564 people watching live on Eagles, 207 people watching live on Niners. All right, let's go through some of the recent signings here. Brandon Allen, former Niner, signing a 1-year contract to be a backup quarterback for Tennessee. I think Tennessee goes quarterback at number 1. They've made some big moves along the offensive line. And if they really like Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders too for that point, I think they go quarterback number 1. And then they protect him with good offensive line play. The defense was actually pretty good last year, and they did sign Calvin Ridley, signed Tony Pollard last year in free agency. And so that's what I'm predicting the Titans' plan is. Harrison Bryant, 1-year deal with the Eagles up to $2 million. We talked about that move in full detail. Sheldon Day, defensive tackle, signing with the Commanders. Malik Collins got let go by the Niners, signing with the Browns. I was seeing reports of a 2-year, $20 million deal. Naquan Jones, defensive tackle, signing with the Chargers. Dakota Shepley, offensive tackle, getting a 2-year deal with the Cowboys. Stone Smart, 1-year contract with the Jets. Alexander Madison, been in the league for a bit. Running back signing with the Dolphins after they lost Raheem Mostert. And then Ed Ingram, the guard, getting traded to the Texans in exchange for a 2026 6th-round pick to the Vikings. So the Texans traded away Kenyon Green. They traded away Laramie Tunsil. Their offensive line last year was a joke. Now they get Ed Ingram to play along the interior. And then Jack Conklin signing a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Cleveland Browns. Those are the most recent moves that have happened. W. Madsick, I was that lucky guy to win that jersey on my lunch. Oh, that's right. So that was, let's see. That was day 2. Wyatt Maddox? Wyatt Maddox. W. Madsick. Wyatt Maddox. What up, brother? Douglas Delgado, CJ Mosley to the Niners. Dude, that's a move that I'd be interested in if I were San Francisco. I know they're trying to get younger, but CJ Mosley is a player who I'd be intrigued by if I'm San Francisco. And we could talk about CJ Mosley coming up. I'm going to go use the bathroom here real quick. Chip's going to chop it up with everybody. If you have questions for him, let him know. But I'll be back here in just a couple of minutes. Wyatt, my guy, you were indeed that lucky guy to win the jersey on your lunch break.
If you want to be lucky person to win a jersey today, it's $20. Get you a raffle ticket. So get on in that raffle. For each channel, you get a jersey of your choosing. It's up to you. Completely up to you. Sign the center that got released today from the Patriots, David Andrews. Yeah, if he decides he wants to keep playing, Niners should 100% be all in on that. Chance he retires, though, for David Andrews. Good career. Wouldn't be surprised if he hangs it up, but could decide to play another year or so. Sign Cup, sign CJ Mosley, Stephon Gilmore. All options. All options. For sure. Conklin to the Browns is nice. Yeah, you know, he has had some injury issues and some inconsistent play, but a good tackle, and look, the Browns just need good players, man. So good for them to retain him. Seen a couple Niners fans saying, sign Cooper Kupp, please. Has had injury issues. He's getting older, but I think he's still talented. You know, really took a back seat to Puka Nacua at the end of last season. And supposedly he's asking for a little more money than some teams are interested in. You know, Patriots reportedly interested in signing Cooper Kupp, but said his price at the moment is a bit too steep. So maybe Kupp has to come down a little bit on that price tag. It's the Hookup Hotel. Ray, pay Purdy if Dak got $60 million and he sucks? Like, just because the Cowboys gave Dak too much money doesn't mean you gotta pay Purdy. Like, just because these other teams are making bad deals and giving their quarterbacks way too much money doesn't mean you gotta overpay for Purdy. Ashley Clark, Eagles need a slot upgrade. We can get Kupp. Eagles won't do that. They just don't need to pay and have a super talented third receiver. They don't use their third receiver enough in their offense. You know, I think Jahan Dotson did a fine job when he was targeted. I mean, he should have scored in the Super Bowl. Was an inch short of scoring that first touchdown for the Eagles. And, you know, they traded for him this past season, gave up a good draft pick for him. I think they're more than comfortable with Jahan Dotson being their third wide receiver. I don't think they need to go out and get a Cooper Kupp. AK Frost, who is replacing Debo? I'm thinking it might be Pearsall if we sign Kupp. Well, so here's the thing. The Niners and Kupp, I really like Ricky Pearsall in the slot. I think Pearsall can be a really, really good slot wide receiver. You have Ayuk and Jennings on the outside. And Kupp, I think he excels best in the slot as well. So Look, I think you just roll Pearsall in the slot and see what he can do. He was better at the end of last season, and I think if you give him an entire year where he can be healthy and really get into the flow of things, he looked good at the end of last season. Let him play in that slot, see what he can do, man. He's athletic. He made some great catches at Florida. He can do some things with the ball in his hands. I'm not sure if he's not the same Swiss Army knife that Debo was. I don't really know if there's very many players that are like Debo was, but I think he's a great slot option, so I wouldn't stunt his growth. You just spent a first-round pick on him. Wouldn't stunt his growth with Cooper Kupp. Can they franchise tag a player still on their rookie deal from 75 Dignity? So you wouldn't franchise tag a guy until they become a free agent. I'm not sure who you're talking about specifically, but you don't franchise tag somebody until they become a free agent. Why are we keeping Jake Moody? I think the Niners, they're hoping that his struggles last year was because of the injury that he suffered. I think it was an ankle injury. I think they're hoping that that's why he was so bad, and they're giving him kind of one more year. There's also not a lot of great options out there, but they could also draft a kicker. We don't know yet. There's just not a lot of good free agent options. Carol Hosey, UGA Pro Day was yesterday. Lots of guys looking good. Yeah, a lot of good players coming out of that Georgia program. You know, Malachi Starks is an option for the Eagles for sure at that safety spot. He had a really good day at the UGA Pro Day. Micah Williams had a solid day. I don't think he, ran quite as fast as some people might have thought. Coming off an injury this season. He played injured pretty much all year, the edge rusher out of Georgia. But regardless, I don't think he's a player that falls to the Eagles. Could be an option for the Niners. They definitely need to upgrade that D-line, and he could be an option at 11. Very talented edge rusher, very athletic. Will Sparks be available at 32? I assume you mean Starks. Man, after his pro day, there's certainly a chance. Now, the good thing is, safety is usually a position that teams don't value quite as much as some others, so safeties do tend to slide down the board. Now, I think he is far and away the top safety. Although Nick Emanwari also had a really good showing at the NFL Combine, the safety out of South Carolina. I'd be fine with either of those two guys for the Eagles. And I'm honestly pretty confident that one of those two guys will be there at 32. So I think either Starks or Emanwari will be there at 32, and I'd be happy with either of those guys for the Eagles. Thoughts on Bosa not landing with the Niners from Big Slab Energy? Look, they just didn't offer, enough money, and that's what it came down to. We thought maybe Bosa would be willing to take a discount, Joey Bosa that is, to play with his brother Nick in San Francisco. But, look, Bills offered over $2 million more than the Niners. Niners were at about $10 million. Bills gave him over $12, and that's just what it came down to. And honestly, the Bills are more of a contender than the Niners are at this moment in time. So, look, it's a one-year deal. It's not like Joey Bosa's retiring, so he can always play for the Niners next year if he really wants to play with Nick Bosa, but it sucks because the Niners really need D-line help. Outside of Nick Bosa, they don't really have much there, so. And that kind of answers Michael O'Donnell's question. Why would Joey Bosa go to the Bills? They're a contender, man. They're a contender. They're a really good team. With Josh Allen there, just got that massive, massive contract. They could easily make a Super Bowl run this year. I don't know if you can say the same things about the Niners with the moves they've made so far. WD, will the Eagles trade their pick number 32 in the draft, one of their 5th-round pick and a 3rd-round 2026 pick for a player like Trey Hendrickson or someone else? So with Trey Hendrickson, the word out there on the streets right now is that the Bengals' asking price for Hendrickson is just ridiculous. And teams have reportedly been willing to give Hendrickson the contract he wants. But the Bengals, have been asking for a 1st-round pick and more. Now, would I trade pick 32, obviously the lowest 1st-round pick, a 5th and a 3rd in 2026 for Trey Hendrickson, and you have to pay him? I think that's a little too steep for me. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man, Would I give up 32? I would give up 32 straight up for Hendrickson, and then I'd probably add in a fifth as well if that's what it takes to get it done. But also adding in a third, I think that's a little too much. I don't think the Eagles would do that, man. I don't think they would do that. Bills are not true contenders unless they finally draft Allen, a true wide receiver one. Yeah, signed Josh Palmer. They obviously have Keon Coleman, but re-signed Khalil Shakir at that wide receiver spot. Don't have a true number one. We'll see if they go after that in the draft. But look, I mean, they were close to doing it this year. I don't think they necessarily need a high-end number one when you have a guy like Josh Allen. Hopefully, someone like Dalton Kincaid can take a step up because I think he was a little disappointing this year. And, you get that run game going. That defense should be much better than it was last season with some of the additions they've made. But until proven otherwise, the Chiefs are still the best team in the AFC. Did Chase pass out in the alley? No, he's actually coming back right now. I can hear him right outside the studio. What would be a good pickup for the Eagles in free agency in the draft? Draft-wise, I could 100% see them going edge rusher. It depends who falls to them. Being that last pick, Samuel Brown. How are we doing? But I wouldn't be surprised if they go edge. I don't know how many moves they have left in them in free agency. That was so loud you heard it through my mic.
$20, I'll do an elite fart noise. All right. Anything cool happen when I was gone? All right. Just recorded a YouTube short on Harrison Bryant. Going to upload that to the channel in addition to my social media pages here. Let's play a game. Oh, Peter Thurman talking Shady Maple Buffet. Were you talking Shady Maple Buffet? Okay. Some people in the comment section, I guess, were. But Peter Thurman could not have been more right. Shady Maple, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Best buffet spread in all of Pennsylvania. They got the Amish people working in there, and it is incredible, the food that they're able to churn out. Just high level. Do you think Yeturgos Matos will be healthy from Chua? Yeah, I think he could be healthy. I mean, he's coming off that knee injury, and once he came off that knee injury last year, I thought he played at a really good level. With the Niners releasing Leonard Floyd, they really don't have a lot of edge rusher talent. Opposite of Nick Bosa, they don't have a lot of defensive line talent in general other than Nick Bosa. And so Yeturgos Matos is a player who, once he came off that knee injury last year, I thought he performed pretty well in limited time. I think he has ability as a player with versatility who could play defensive tackle edge. Really good athlete, former second-round pick out of Penn State. But he's a player, too, who's going to be thrust into a larger role this year if the Niners hold on to him.
By the way, I just saw this question that John Galt just asked. This is a great question. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this.
Okay.
John Galt asked, so, Buc-ee's or Wawa? I know my thoughts, but I want to hear yours first.
So, I don't think this is like a homer take, but Wawa has everything that I need, and it's more convenient. I don't need to travel a great distance to go to a Wawa in Pennsylvania. They're everywhere. You can kind of roll up, get in, get out. Whereas Buc-ee's, it's like sometimes you have to travel a long way to go to a Buc-ee's. It's not as convenient. It's huge. Sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming. And I know they have a vast amount of things, but Wawa does too in a smaller, more confined space. And I kind of like how you can go up to the digital menu, order anything that you want, instead of having to walk around the whole place. So that's my opinion. What's your opinion?
So, for me, I think they're I think they're a little bit different, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
to me, Wawa, like it depends on what I want. If I'm getting, a hoagie,
No doubt.
there's no doubt I'm going to Wawa. But I do think Buc-ee's has a lot of like good like other real food,
Yeah. No doubt.
Like their breakfast sandwich that we had, the breakfast burrito that we got was tremendous.
Yep.
They have a
That
lot
was
of good
good.
snack options. It's obviously just a lot more. And, they both serve as gas stations as well for the most part, which is also, a plus. But I think they're just different. If I had to pick one, man, it's so tough. You just can't beat a nice hoagie from Wawa. Like
No.
the morning of the parade, we went there in the morning, got myself a hoagie, first time in a long time
Yep.
that I've been to a Wawa, and just had that on me all day. Like,
Yeah.
it's just...
M. Destroyer said, the goddamn beaver nuggets. The beaver nuggets are famous. I've had a couple of them, like individual ones. I've never personally ordered beaver nuggets, but everybody raves about them.
I think I had one of their pulled pork sandwiches too, and that was really good. Like, that's the kind of thing, like, that kind of like meat, that type of thing I'm getting from Buc-ee's. But if I'm just getting like a nice hoagie, that's where Wawa, I think, beats them. I don't even know, does Buc-ee's even have like hoagies and like subs?
Well, hoagies are like more of a northeastern thing.
Yeah, I guess it's not really a thing down here.
Like hoagies aren't really popular outside of the Northeast. What is cool too about Buc-ee's, and like you alluded to it, the fact that you can get like brisket tacos and the brisket's actually like really good, and you can get some barbecue. That's what sets it apart. But again, you think about the region where Buc-ee's is, it's more of like the South or the Southwest, and so barbecue is more popular as compared to up in the Northeast.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, Sports Prods announcer, who did the Eagles get? So 2 signings today, Josh Uche and Harrison Bryant. Josh Uche, an edge rusher. Harrison Bryant, a tight end. Those are the 2 moves today. The Niners not making any moves today, but each of the last 3 days, they have signed players after we've signed off. And they've signed multiple players after we've signed off. Lamonte, all these moves will get Kyle Shanahan fired or traded. Let's all face it, we will suck. And kicker is still here. Need I say, Jimmy will probably beat us when we play the Rams. Matthew Stafford's the starting quarterback for the Rams. Here's the thing. I know that things are frustrating right now for San Francisco. And things seem bleak going into 2025. If I were to give you some optimism, it's this. The Niners still have Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk if he can regain his form and stop being a jackass. And then on defense, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Diamador Lenore, and I think Malik Mustafa's a solid player. So that's a reason to be optimistic. Another reason, the Niners are set to have 21 picks in the next 2 drafts. And I calculated this a little bit earlier on a tweet that I crafted. 12 selections in the first 4 rounds. So if they really do want to reset, rebuild, this is a good way to do it.
Updated look here at our Super Chat battle. Eagles now up by almost $400.
Yeah. Niners report. Where you at? Joji Kanishiwa chasing Chip. Joji, thanks for watching the show from Japan as always. You're a legend.
Look at Candy. Candy saying, now I want Rita's Ice on South Street in West Philly.
Oh. Candy, you already know what the deal is, man.
They don't have any type of water ice down here. It's just not a thing. I haven't had some water ice in a long, long time. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had some water ice. Niners can get some great picks. Yeah, like the future of the Niners hinges on the 2025 and 2026 draft classes. And I believe Mike Silver when he reports that Jed York doesn't even think Kyle Shanahan's seat is lukewarm. What I think the Niners' plan is, and what's become clear, they're going to eat all of this dead money right now. They're going to get a lot of cap space next year. And then they're planning on trying to crush the draft the next 2 years, which is kind of the Rams' plan and the Eagles' plan. Because when you have that many picks, especially in the first 4 rounds, you get some young players who can be impact guys, cost-controlled assets. That's the way to rebuild. I mean, look at the Eagles, right? Howie Roseman. He knew that the Eagles needed to improve from 2023 to 2024. And what did he do in the draft? First round, Quinyon Mitchell. Second round, Cooper DeJean. High-level starters in the secondary. A secondary that was awful. And then he took Jalix Hunt in the 3rd round. A lot of people thought it was a reach, including myself. Jalix Hunt looks to be a good player. He replaced Jason Kelsey with Cam Jurgens. He replaced Fletcher Cox with Jalen Carter. And so it takes foresight. It takes planning ahead. It takes good player evaluation, player development, quality coaching. But it is possible. It is possible. Lamont, $5 super chat. We can get to that here in a moment. Once it registers with the system. Another $50 super chat. I'm taking down another beer bong here. Let's get the party jumping. Where's the Niner gang at? Come on now. Eagles now has been bringing the heat, no doubt. Lamont, 757, optimistic, killed the cat. And this team, we've been optimistic for 9 years. Purdy's not him. Kyle and Lynch can't draft the beer from a cooler. Trade Purdy. See, I disagree with that. Because since 2017, think about some of the players who the Niners have drafted, right? I mean, just in 2023, we were talking about how San Francisco was one of the most talented NFL teams in recent memory. And think about the moves that they made and the players that they had on that team. And in recent years, Brock Purdy, drafted. Dominic Pooney, drafted. George Kittle, drafted. Fred Warner, drafted. Nick Bosa, drafted. Trey Greenlaw, drafted. Azeez Al-Shire, drafted. Diamador Lenore, drafted. Malik Mustafa, drafted. Brandon Ayuk, drafted. Deebo Samuel, drafted. Think about the players who left this team, who other teams highly valued to pay big-time dollars to. It tells you that the Niners were doing something right. Other teams valued their player evaluations and their talent. Aaron Banks, $19 million a year. Talanoa Hufanga, $15 million a year. Dre Greenlaw, more than $10 million a year. Charvarius Ward was a free agency pickup, $20 million per year. Like, that's doing your good work in the front office. It really is. You can't say it's bad pick after bad pick when they've been so loaded with their homegrown players. So I know that Niner fans are very frustrated. Also keep in mind, you think about some of the most successful teams over the last several years in the NFL, Chiefs, Eagles, Niners are at the top of that list. The Niners have made it to an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl in 7 of the last 15 years. And I get why Niner fans are frustrated because this team has not won a Super Bowl since 1994. They've choked away 2 Super Bowls in 2019 and 2023. There's no doubt that you should be frustrated by that. What also cracks me up is that when I criticize the Niners on social media, people will call me a hater, but they have not won a Super Bowl since 94. It can't be all sunshine and rainbows when you've had high-level success, yet you still haven't won the big one since 1994. You do not want to be delusional like Cowboys fans. And sometimes Niner homers can be that way. And I love y'all. Appreciate the passion. I love the football insight, the knowledge, but you got to be more realistic at times. Candy, not even listening to my work meeting. I have you in my ear. Go Niners. We won't tell your bosses. We won't tell your bosses. Yeah, the ACC tourney. I can't say that I've seen great basketball today. No moves in a little while here. Jack Conklin, the last move. Alex sending in a $2 super chat. We can get that super popped up. Saleh will be the head coach after next year. That's crazy. Lamont, another 5. Couple of super chats coming in on the Niners front. Alex, we're making the playoffs. Our schedule is not as bad. It's a 4th place schedule, so it is a pretty easy schedule. You have that right. But I just worry how thin the Niners are as of right now at some important positions. I don't like the offensive line. I don't like the defensive line. Linebacking core has questions. Corner room has questions. Wide receiver room has questions. And so at the 4th place schedule, Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, they're going to have to be at their best in 2025. And the Niners are really going to have to hit on their draft picks because if you think about it, there aren't a lot of good free agents left. And so it's not like you're going to be able to bring in high-level players in free agency, leading the Niners to have pressure on them once the draft comes around to pick up really solid players who can help you right away because they're going to have to help you right away. Lamont, McGlinchey, Kinlaw, Foster, Thomas, kicker in the 3rd, Hellefield running back, and 3 picks for Trey, only 3 starts. Drops the mic. Yeah, I mean, look, not good. But every team has draft misses. I mean, if we're going to pump up Howie Roseman so much, he took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. Inexcusable, right? He's learned from that. Niners have to learn from it as well. That's part of the reason why I said Kyle Shanahan should be at the NFL Combine to meet with these prospects, to have face-to-face conversations, to scout and evaluate them. And some people will say, he doesn't need to go. Yet when myself and Grant Cohn set out and we ask multiple coaches why it's important to be there, and they all list many reasons why, if it's important for them, why isn't it important for Kyle Shanahan? But I agree. These misses, not good. Mike McGlinchey, Javon Kinlaw, Reuben Foster, Solomon Thomas, a kicker in the third round is fucking asinine. 75 Dignam, another 20. Do you think that Salah was told that there was going to be a mass exodus before signing back on? Thoughts on the job Salah has in front of him this season? So, look, the role of an elite coach is having to really maximize and extract the best out of your players. And sometimes it's really helping those players who maybe haven't worked out for other teams. You sign them, and you're hoping that you can be the coach and the staff and the team and the organization to really develop them and have them playing their best football. Like, elite coaches do that. Look at what Vic Fangio did this past year with the Eagles. Jalen Carter, massive leap, became an all-pro level player. Nolan Smith became a Pro Bowl level player. N'Kobe Dean finally found it. Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean were excellent as rookies. Reed Blankenship, a huge leap. Jalix Hunt, dog. Jordan Davis started to get better. And so I think that Robert Saleh can have that impact on the Niners. I've talked about this a lot. What doesn't make sense to me, if the Niners were willing to make Robert Saleh one of the highest paid defensive coordinators in the NFL, that signaled to me all in. If you're going to pay that much money for a DC, knowing that you could lose him in a year, but then you're going to just let everybody walk from that defense, yeah, he probably thought, shoot, I might be able to take over a defense with Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Diamador Lenore, Talanoa Hufanga, and Dre Greenlaw. That'd be awesome. We can get that unit back on track. Instead, a lot of those players have left. You knew Mooney Ward was going to leave, but Greenlaw and Hufanga were up in the air. And look, I know that Hufanga got $15 million. I know that Greenlaw got a lot. And some people are like, Chase, you're saying the Niners are cheap, but they're not signing injury-prone older players. Well, why are other teams valuing them so much? Because they're good players. Like, I don't blame you for letting Aaron Banks get 19 mil, but to save a few million for Leonard Floyd when you need another pass rusher, that's when I take issue with stuff like that. Look, and Lamont pointed out the draft misses for San Francisco. Howie Roseman this time last year signed Bryce Huff to $17 million per season. So every GM has misses. But you know what the Niners also haven't done, which the Eagles have done? Replace some of their elite players. Cam Jurgens for Jason Kelsey. Jalen Carter for Fletcher Cox. Drafting Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. The Niners still can't find a damn defensive tackle since they traded away DeForest Buckner after 2019. That's a problem.
You want to run through some of these top remaining free agents we got left out here?
Yeah. We'll run through some top free agents here. Day 4, NFL free agency. See some of the top players available who all teams across the NFL can sign. Buddy Moles, good to see you back in the chat.
Yes, sir.
And Buddy Moles, do we still have Jake Moody? Yes. At the very least, got to bring in kicker competition. But please, for the life of me, do not draft one in the third round ever again. It is an idiotic team-building practice.
All right, let's see. Both teams are pretty much set at backup quarterback now, so
Yep.
we can go through every position still, or just kind of go to the big
Let's go
ones?
through every position. Top 5, top 10 guys at every position.
Let's do it.
So, top NFL free agents at the quarterback spot. You have 2 starters. The rest are backups here. And obviously, Mac Jones signing with San Francisco last night, so you could take him off the board. But we had him ranked 5th yesterday, and I think that it's a good move for the Niners. You take a chance on a former first-round pick who has some ability, who played on 2 dog-shit organizations, and so we refreshed that. Mac Jones taken off. Gardner Minshew slides into that top 5. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, the lone 2 starters on this list. And I think Rodgers should go to Pittsburgh. I think when you look at the Steelers, Rodgers can be the final piece to make them a legitimate Super Bowl contender, whereas if he went to the Giants, he has to be the difference maker on that team. And at 41 years old, I'd rather be the final piece as compared to the difference maker, and I want to go to the team where I can win a Super Bowl. You're not winning a Super Bowl with the Giants. And I think whatever team misses out on Aaron Rodgers signs Russell Wilson. And so I think it's either going to be Rodgers to Pittsburgh or New York, or Russ to Pittsburgh or New York. And Pittsburgh just saw Russell Wilson. At this point of his career, Russell Wilson is a quarterback who doesn't have the mobility that he had, can't make magic happen out of structure like he did. And we saw when it got cold last year, he was throwing flutter balls. And really, the strength of his game at this point is throwing long sideline shots. It's not sustainable. You could take that away very easily. Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco, Gardner Minshew, still available. Drew Lock, Carson Wentz, Cooper Rush, Taylor Heineke, Desmond Ridder, still free agents. I said this earlier. Given what the price would be for a Russ and a player like Carson Wentz, I'd rather have Carson Wentz on my team than Russell Wilson. I also just think that Russ is a weird cat. Top NFL free agent running backs: J.K. Dobbins, Nick Chubb, Miles Sanders. Within the last 2 hours, Raheem Mostert signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, so a reunion with the Niners is not going to happen. Jamal Williams led the NFL in touchdowns a couple of years ago, let go by the New Orleans Saints. Gus Edwards just signed with the Miami Dolphins. Kareem Hunt, Cam Akers, Alexander Mattison, Jeff Wilson, former Niner, all still free agents. Top available wideouts, no movement here. Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Elijah Moore, Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp. All wide receivers who are different. Amari Cooper has had a plethora of 1,000-yard seasons, but a little bit alarming that he couldn't produce with the Bills last year with Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs is coming off a torn ACL. Elijah Moore, young, 24 years old, not looked at as a great locker room fit potentially, but is a good athlete. Liked his game coming out of Ole Miss. Keenan Allen, older, body breaking down, been injured a lot even when he was younger, but a big wide receiver who can go up and get it. Cooper Kupp, injured a ton. I would love the fit of him going to the Jaguars under Trevor Lawrence, and I think that he would be a good cultural fit with that new regime. I think that he could be a good weapon for Lawrence, and I think that he'd be motivated to have a good year, and he would fit very well alongside Brian Thomas, a young wide receiver who looks to be a star. And when I think about Cooper Kupp, I think that he's not the player who he once was. The 2021 Triple Crown season, one of the best seasons that we've seen ever, but outside of that, he's been injured a ton. Even in college, he was banged up a little bit. But I think that Liam Cohen can put him in positions to succeed. Good slot wide receiver at this point, and he's always a good route runner and technician with excellent footwork. Brandon Cooks, Tyler Lockett, Robert Woods, Juju Smith-Schuster, Josh Reynolds, also free agents. To the tight end position, Harrison Bryant just got signed by the Philadelphia Eagles, but Tyler Conklin, Gerald Everett, Mo Alley Cox, Jordan Akins, free agents there. Top NFL free agents along the offensive line. These are all tackles here. Cam Robinson filled in very nicely for Christian Darrisaw last year. And given how important the tackle spot is, I'm surprised he doesn't have more of a market. Joe Noteboom, Tyron Smith, Jedrick Wills, Brandon Scherf. We go to the interior here. Will Hernandez, Tevin Jenkins, Mekhi Becton. If Aaron Banks got 19 plus million per year, how is Mekhi Becton not able to get 15 to 20 if he continues to play guard at only 25 years old? Shaq Mason, Dalton Reisner, also free agents. Top defensive lineman here. I know the Niners are trying to get younger, but Calais Campbell's an interesting piece. A veteran who's still getting it done at a very high level. You have Raekwon Davis, Derek Nottie, Kyle Pico, Foley Fatakasi. Top edge rushers. Azeez Ojulari, 24 years old with athleticism, speed, burst, and production when healthy. The issue with him, injury concerns. But my gosh, after the Niners didn't sign Joey Bosa, you need an edge. Azeez Ojulari would be a good fit. Dante Fowler, good year last year with Washington. Charles Omenihu can play end or defensive tackle. His career came alive after the Niners traded for him at the deadline back in 2021. Za'Darius Smith, good year last year, but obviously starting to get older. Von Miller, future Hall of Famer, but domestic abuse stuff, not a great look for him. More edge rushers here. You have Matthew Judon, Preston Smith, Kayvon Chason, Dennis Gardeck, DeMarcus Walker. For a player like Matthew Judon, 32 years old, Falcons picked him up last year, 5.5 sacks. What's concerning about him, 2021, 12.5 sacks. 2022, 15.5 sacks. He had a run of 4 straight Pro Bowls, but the last 2 years, 4 sacks in 4 games for New England, but then just 5.5 sacks in 17 games with Atlanta, and he's going to be 33 this year. Linebackers. If I'm the Niners, C.J. Mosley is a player who I'd be interested in. Again, I know you want to get younger. You also need players. Isaiah Simmons, Kaiser White, E.J. Speed, Eric Kendricks did play pretty well last year for Dallas. At the cornerback spot, Asante Samuel Jr. is young with excellent ball skills, exploding corner market, but this late in the game, is the team going to pay him a lot of coin? He's an excellent player. Stephon Gilmore, Rasul Douglas, Mike Hilton, Kendall Fuller, Jeff Okudah, a former first-round pick by Detroit, top 5 guy, dealt with a lot of injuries and sporadic play. Tre'Davious White, Noah Igbenogany, Shaq Griffin. Ronald Darby is a player who I think can make sense for Philadelphia as a vet. And then the safety spot, Justin Simmons, Julian Blackmon, Rayshon Jenkins, Jordan Fuller, Quandre Diggs. Simmons, Blackmon, Jenkins, pretty good players. Fuller's still only 27. And then Diggs, he's been doing it for a long time, but is 32 years old. Who is your best free agent available? Let us know down in the chat. Yeah, for real. San Fran 49. Hey, Chase, any update on Thornhill to San Francisco? Visiting with the team today. So, no update other than that. I talked about him earlier today on the show. All right. I want to post a video on my socials talking Niners here about why fans should be optimistic about San Francisco. And when I film these selfie videos, I know sometimes it takes me a little while to post because I'm putting it on YouTube Shorts, Twitter, and Instagram. It takes a moment. I don't really have somebody to do it for me. Chip is here. I hope everybody doesn't get distracted. Do you guys like when I do behind-the-scenes videos? Are you cool with that? Is it something that you like to see? We're still technically talking football. So if you like it, can you say yes? If you don't, say no. Yes or no? Are you cool with it when I take these selfie videos to post on all platforms? Because I still keep the mic on and you can still hear me. It's kind of a behind-the-scenes look of us just creating a bunch of content. San Fran 49 said yes. Lou said yes. Braden said yes. Amoroso said, I think it's cool, yes. Carol Hosey, yes. Carol, I thought your phone was dying. I'm glad you're still here. Eric, yes. Mike Shades, yes. Desmond, yes. Weirdo, yeah. What up, brother? It's so hot. It's not good. Yeah. Good games. Yep. Are you guys off live? No. Oh, okay. Oh, for the trade. What's their pick in the first round, Houston? So I guess this will be a part of their offensive line after the trade, and then they go heavy draft offensive linemen. Yeah. Okay. But you still need a left tackle, and you still need another guard. Which is who? Okay. At a Notre Dame. Okay. Did he play well? Okay. I talked about him on Niners a little bit. Not bad. Still in the green. All right, bet. Cool. Stroud coming up. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Easily. Yeah. All right. I can see what they're thinking there with that team building strategy. Angela G said yes. What'd you say? You can keep it closed. That's fine. Yeah, it doesn't really matter for us. I got the fan on me. Thank you, though. All right, so a lot of people like the social media content. All right, so I'm going to film this video talking Niners here. We're live on the 49ers Report for Day 4 of NFL Free Agency. Join me on YouTube right now. But I want to take a moment to share why 49ers fans should be optimistic. I know the start of free agency has been really difficult for Niner fans, seeing a lot of these marquee players go who have been signature players for this organization. But I think this is what the Niners' plan is, and I can see what they're thinking. They want to absorb that $80+ million dead cap charge this year so that they can get a lot of free agency money next year and open up the salary cap. And they want to build through the draft, which is a smart team-building strategy. And the Niners right now have 21 picks in the next 2 drafts, including 12 selections in the first 4 rounds. This team going into 2025, they still have some talent too, right? Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk if he can come back, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Deommodore Lenoir, Malik Mustafa. A lot of work to do. Reasons to be optimistic, though. All right, had to fit that inside 1 minute for a little YouTube short. Justine said, not the AI strippers. Did we have bots in the chat? I haven't seen bots all week. Hopefully not. There were no bots. I just think that somebody was just saying, oh, not the AI strippers. DZ said, say it again, Chase. I got you, man. All right. We are $25 away from 300 in Super Chats on Niners. We're up to 633 on Eagles now. If we can get to $300 in the next 2 minutes in Super Chats on the Niners Report, I'll do another beer bong here.
Let's do it.
And if we can get to 700 on Eagles in the next 2 minutes, we're at 633. You see the figures here to my right. I'll do a shambong.
If we get both, I'll do another beer bong. We gotta get it on both. Not just one. Gotta be both.
Has Dragon Slayer showed up yet? Dragon Slayer has not showed up yet.
That's why Niners Report is down nearly $400.
Yeah, where's Dragon Slayer at? Dragon Slayer, where are ya?
Dragon Slayer's on the streets looking for coin.
That's funny. super chat. Let's go. Big Hurt, welcome back, my brother. Good to hear from you again. The only thing we did wrong so far is let Greenlaw go. That hurt my feelings. I see what you did there, bro. I see what you did there. Eric, $5. Cheers to everybody for hanging out. We'll read those super chats here in a moment. That gets us over 300 in super chats. Trying to post this video here. We can get to those supers. Fred Williams making it rain. $50 super chat. Before that, though, Buddy Moles with the 50. Buddy Moles has been a low-key super chat legend this week. Interacting with a lot of people, too. And then we had a couple of fives come in. Our guy Big Hurt from the DMV area repping the Niners. Only thing we did wrong so far is let Greenlaw go. That hurt my feelings. I just don't think the Niners were willing to go more than $10 million for Dre Greenlaw. I think that's what their thinking was there. Eric, Chase, so we're basically paying you to drink. I want your job. Here's to the bong, brother. Man, if we could hit other bongs, that'd be lit literally on this show. But yeah, it's for the Sham Bong. And look, you pay for us to have a good time, for us to engage, for us to entertain. But most importantly, we want to be insightful and informative. We want to talk ball and just chop it up with the faithful. And then Fred Williams with that 50. As Fred Williams made it rain. Freddie!
Fred!
All right. Let me take down a shambong for Freddie.
Let's go, let's go.
For Fred Williams. Cheers, brother. Cody Brewer said Julian Blackmon. Niners had some interest in him last year. What we could do next, by the way, after I use the bathroom again, because I got to pee already, is we could kind of go through every team and the moves that they've made so far, right? Yeah. Cool. If Dre's last name was Brownlaw, he would have never left for more green. I am becoming Death Destroyer of words. I see what you did there. Go Birds! Realistic landing spots for Goddard. You know, I liked the Broncos at first. But they signed Evan Ingram. And he's going to serve in that Joker role under Sean Payton. Other than that, I really don't know teams that would be interested in Goddard. Like, who needs a tight end with cap space? The Rams would be interesting.
Colts, maybe?
The Colts could be interesting. The Patriots could be interesting. Shane Steichen, Dallas Goedert, there's a connection there. There's not really a connection with Gannon. There is, but not player personnel-wise, because they have Trey McBride, who's one of the top young tight ends in the NFL. All right, I'm going to use the bathroom, When we come back, we can go through some moves that other teams have made across the NFL to just inform you, as we're live on Eagles, live on Niners, no teams doing anything of late. So we can just talk some football here. Chip's going to chop it up with everybody. He'll show you the Super Chat menu, and you guys can talk for a bit. I'll be back.
Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Running back our deal from yesterday, it's $20 to get you into the jersey raffle. We got 29 entries on Eagles right now. We got 17 entries on Niners. Again, $20 gets you one ticket. Every 20 you send in is another ticket. And if you win, you get any jersey of your choosing. Someone sends in a $50 super chat right now. I will do a beer bong, and I'll give you 5 raffle tickets. Normally, you only get 2 raffle tickets for $50. But if someone sends in a 50 before Chase comes back, I will do a beer bong, and I'll give you 5 raffle tickets. Anybody who sends in a 50 until Chase comes back. Can be more than one person. I hope Debo gives the NFC East hell. Look, we saw with what Debo was last year. Not the same guy. I don't think he's going to give the NFC East hell. I think he'll be a little bit better than he was last year, but he's not the same guy anymore, man. Tequila? Not a tequila guy. I'm not a tequila guy. In a margarita? Sure, why not? I like me a good margarita. I'm not drinking straight tequila, though. Never been my thing. Eagles 6-11 incoming. I don't know how you could possibly project that for the Eagles. 6-11? Yeah, all right. I can't have alcohol because I'm pre-diabetic. Look, alcohol, you don't need it to have a good time. I can tell you that. Honestly, right now, I think I've had too much of it the past few days. I'm feeling tired. But we keep it pushing. We keep it pushing. I see the people in the Eagles chat right now having a big debate about Jalen Hurts. Travis Lane, should the Niners sign Mekhi Becton at guard or Tevin Jenkins? Look, you got to make an upgrade on the O-line. And, those 2 names you mentioned, wow, good options. I don't think they're going to pay someone like Becton. Now, Tevin Jenkins, that could certainly be an option. Younger guy, won't get as much money as Becton. Former first-round pick, that's intriguing, man. Can you say Jalen's a top 5 quarterback? I mean, Super Bowl MVP. Should have won MVP a couple years ago. He's top 5, man. He is top 5. Keep Mason. The Niners are keeping Jordan Mason around. 2nd-round tender on him. Who is the best free agent kicker right now? Eddie Pinheiro, that's the best free agent kicker right now? Yeah. Isaac Santee beats the buzzer right before Chase gets back. That's
Okay,
5
Isaac.
raffle tickets, and I got to do a beer bong.
Okay, Isaac.
Right at the buzzer. Literally, Chase was walking in the studio as Isaac Santee sent in that 50. Appreciate that, Isaac. We'll get that popped up here. As Niners is making a little bit of a comeback. They were down nearly $400. Now they're down just $200. Don't call it a comeback yet. Don't call it a comeback yet.
Yeah. Things are getting interesting. 635 to 435. Isaac Santee makes it rain. Bang, bang, Niner gang. I hope we get the deal done with Brock Purdy and we just have a good year. It'll be nice to see new faces on the Niners. Yeah, report from Tom Pelissero. To his understanding, the signing of Mac Jones is not an indication that the Niners are not going to get a deal done with Purdy. The Niners' hope is to still get a deal done with Purdy. Isaac Santee, another 50. Here we go. Cheers, y'all.
All right, Sandy. Beer bong coming for you. I said it. And let me give you your 5 raffle tickets as well. All right, 5 tickets for Isaac. North Carolina going to pull this one out. We're going to get UNC Duke. Probably no Cooper Flag, though.
Oh, sucks. UNC Duke in the NCAA tournament, or in the ACC tournament, always has some juice. Always has some juice.
Yeah, they've been pretty mid this year, but turn it around. Oh, we got a wedgie.
Haha.
On a 3-pointer. You don't see that often.
No. That's a bad brick. That's what that means.
All right, here we go. What flavor we got here? Oh, watermelon. Take that. Beer bong for Isaac Santee.
Let's go, Isaac.
Let's go. Thanks for that 50. Cheers.
Another 50, I'll do my last shotgun of the day. Another 50, I'll do my last shotgun of the day. But it's got to come in the next 2 minutes. If we get a 50 in the next 2 minutes, I'll do my last shotgun of the day. As Chip takes down his happy dad. Cody Brewer, you got it, man. Buddy Mole said Duke in a blowout. Yeah, without Cooper Flag, though. Did John Shire say anything about Cooper Flag?
His x-rays were negative. That's all I heard.
That's good. Sprained ankles are tricky, especially for a player who's probably trying to go number 1 in the draft and not further hurt his ankle.
Maybe he'll fall to number 6?
Fall to the Sixers. All right, what team does everybody want to hear about as far as which players they have added? Let us know in the chat. We can run through some of those before we dip on out of here. Which team do you want to hear about? And if we get another 50 in the next 2 minutes, I'll do my last shotgun of the day. All right, I'm seeing Broncos. Let's talk about the Broncos here for a moment. Players who the Broncos have added so far in free agency. Mitchell Frabroni, long snapper. 3 years, little more than $4 million. Denver also bringing back Jarrett Stidham as part of that quarterback room on a 2-year, $12 million deal. He gets nearly $7 million guaranteed. DJ Jones got quite the pay raise. He was making $10 million per year. He gets 3 years, $39. number 2 defensive tackle in run stop win rate last year. Matt Pert, backup offensive tackle, 2 years, 7. And then Denver taking a couple of players away from the Niners. Talanoa Hufanga, 3 years, 45, 20 guaranteed. Dre Greenlaw, 3 years, 35. Trent Sherfield, another former Niner, 2 years, 8. Justin Schnadd, 1 year, 2.7, fully guaranteed, linebacker. And then yesterday, Broncos signing Evan Ingram after the turn of the new league year, 2 years, 23, 16.5 guaranteed. Who else do people want to hear about? I saw Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders in the chat. Let us know in the chat which team you want to hear about. Alex Kappa got let go by the Bengals. Then he signed with the Raiders. 2 years, 11.2. That's starting guard money right there for a low-level starter. They signed Max Crosby to a contract extension. 3 years, $106.5 million. Traded for Geno Smith, setting a third-round pick to Seattle in exchange for Geno. And we'll see if the Raiders want to give him a contract extension. I imagine upon completing that trade, that's been the plan. Adam Butler, 3 years, 16.5, 11.5 guaranteed. A rising defensive tackle who they really like. They retain him. Jeremy Chin, 2 years, $16 million, 8 per year. Malcolm Kuntz, defensive end, 1 year, 12. Lonnie Johnson, the corner. Landon Roberts, 1 year, 3. Yesterday, signing Eric Stokes to a 1 year, $4 million deal. Or was that 2 nights ago? I think it was 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago. And then a few hours ago, the Raiders adding former Niner and Eagle running back Raheem Mostert to a 1 year, $2.1 million contract. Who else? What's up, Ernesto? Millie315, Rams. Raiders looking nice on paper. They're okay. Geno Smith is pretty mid. But one of my observations at the NFL Combine, we should respect the Raiders again. Pete Carroll, John Spytek, they know how to run things. And they might not have a lot of talent. They've gotten a little bit better. Just on coaching alone, they're going to be a feisty team. Rams in free agency, signing Alaric Jackson to a 3 year, $57 million contract extension. Tutu Atwell, 1 year, 10, fully guaranteed. Brought in Devontae Adams on Sunday, 2 years, $46 million, 26 guaranteed. Wanted to go back to the West Coast. He does that. Jimmy Garoppolo, 1 year up to 13 plus. Poona Ford, 3 years, 30, 17 guaranteed at defensive tackle. And then Coleman Shelton, a 2 year deal with the Rams as well. No news on Trey Hendrickson. No news on Trey Hendrickson as of yet.
Did see that apparently teams are not willing to meet the Bengals' asking price. They're asking for too much.
Who else? All right, let's do Commanders-Bears. Commanders-Bears. And then Kane Angel asked about the Chargers. Millie asked about the Commanders. Traded for Deebo Samuel. Sending a 5th-round pick to San Francisco. Zane Gonzalez, the kicker, returns. Bobby Wagner back on a 1 year, $9 million deal, 8 guaranteed. Zach Ertz, love the value there. Played very well with Jaden Daniels last season, 1 year, 6.25. John Bates back on a 3 year deal. Tressway, they retain their punter. One of the craziest deals of free agency, Javon Kinlaw. 3 years, 45 with 30 guaranteed. They traded for Laramie Tunsil to pick up one of the most elite left tackles in the game. Did lead the league in penalties last year. Not good. But as far as the offensive tackle numbers, very solid. Will Harris, 2 years, 8. Jeremy McNichols is back on a 1 year deal. Marcus Mariota, a good backup, 1 year, 8. Eddie Goldman, 1 year deal. Jonathan Jones, 1 year up to 6.5. Kevon Seymour, cornerback. Dietrich Weiss, defensive end, 1 year, 5. KJ Osborne, 1 year deal. Michael Dieter, the center. Noah Brown, 1 year up to 4.5, and Sheldon Day, 1 year deal. Active. Where the Commanders, they did have some of the most cap space in the NFL, and what's pretty consistent about what they've done the last 2 off seasons under former assistant Niners GM Adam Peters, a lot of short-term contracts to give them flexibility going ahead into the future because they know they're trying to maximize Jaden Daniels being under that rookie contract. The Chicago Bears remade their offensive line, traded for Jonah Jackson, traded for Joe Tooney, signed Drew Dahlman. I would have paid this, by the way, if I was the Niners. I would have paid him 15. That would have been more. Deo, 3 years, 48. They address edge rusher. He gets 32 guaranteed. Grady Jarrett, 3 years, 43.5. Scott Daly, the long snapper. So you could tell what the Bears did. Load up in the trenches. Chargers were the other team that people were asking about. Tabor Pepper is being released. The Niners long snapper. He's with the team for 5 years. Played in every game. On the final year of his 3-year extension that he signed in 2023. I always wanted to see a debate between him and Nick Bosa. The real ones know. Chargers in free agency. If you got that, type me in the chat. Khalil Mack, back on a 1-year, $18 million deal. It's fully guaranteed for the future Hall of Famer. J.K. Scott, 2-year deal. Dante Jackson, 2 years, 13. Bradley Bozeman, 2 years, up to 12. Tier Tart, 1 year, up to 5.5. Najee Harris, 1 year, 5.25. Jalen Reagor back with the Chargers. Denzel Perriman, 1 year, little more than 3.5. Benjamin St-Juste, 1-year contract. Mike Williams, 1 year, up to 6. Deshaun Hand, 1 year, up to 3.35.
Couple supers that came in on the Niners side of things. Nathan Eds. I'm in Washington, the state. Do I make a game this year? In San Fran. Why not? Why not? It's a little far. But one game, you can make it happen. Excuse me. Excuse me. When's the last time you've been to a game? I'm curious. Have you ever been to a game in San Fran? Let us know. Because if not, maybe this year isn't the year to make it happen, but.
Eric Brown, hi, how are you today? Doing great. Doing great.
And then we got another one, I believe. Oh, 20. Isaac Martinez. Let's go, Niners. Do you think that we trade Brennan Ayuk for draft picks? I don't think Ayuk gets traded. I don't know, Chase, what you think, but I don't think they trade him.
Oh, man. I mean, the Browns and Patriots seem to be pretty desperate to bring in a wide receiver. You have the Patriots with Drake May, young quarterback on his rookie deal, no number one. Then you have the Browns, who Jerry Jeudy played awesome last year. But if they draft a quarterback, they probably want another wideout. But coming off that knee injury with how severe it was and the contract, I think it'd be hard to move him. Buddy Moles, I'm in Virginia. I go to the Niners games in California. That's a legend right there.
G-Code, $2.
Ooh.
With a Warriors question.
Eagles making another move, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Adoree Jackson?
Oh, Adoree Jackson of the Birds.
see. Adoree Jackson signing with the Eagles. Who had that? I'm not even seeing it here. Oh, Jordan Schultz. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Adoree Jackson, former first-round pick by the Titans, played in 14 games last year with the Giants, spent the last 4 years with the Giants, first 4 years with Tennessee, has had some return ability as well. Hasn't done that since 2022. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll do a cut for Adoree. Gonna look up Adoree Jackson's Pro Football Focus numbers here. Actually wasn't bad last year in 102 coverage snaps. That's tough. He was an electric college player at USC and has been a solid player in the NFL. Not great, though.
Interesting signing for sure, because he had all the athletic ability in the world. Was a good returner, electric returner. Never really worked out at corner. He was never awful. Just never great. Grade the signing. I imagine it'll be a one-year deal for minimal money.
All right, let's talk Adoree Jackson to Philadelphia here. It will be a depth signing for the Eagles, no doubt about it. Really, his last time as a full-time starter was in 2023. Coverage grade of 45.9. Yeah, not good. Last year, 64.5. But only 276 coverage snaps. Played a decent amount. See where his snap alignment is. Yep. Snaps by position. Last year, 382 snaps on the outside. 22 in the slot. So more of an outside guy, but a backup outside guy. All right, let's talk Adoree Jackson to the Eagles. Grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F. 350 people watching on Eagles Now. Uptick in audience because a lot of you want us to talk Adoree. If that's you, type me in the chat. Type me in the chat. Our third Eagles show about to come up right now. And let's get into it. Hey there, welcome into the show. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. If you don't know, now you know. But my name is Chase Sr., and Howie Roseman has made another move on day 4 of NFL free agency. And Philadelphia, after losing Darius Slay to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 1 year, $10 million in guaranteed money. After Isaiah Rodgers left Philadelphia for the Minnesota Vikings and he got $7 million in guaranteed money, the Eagles needed to address cornerback depth. Now, I think what Philadelphia is going to do going into 2025, barring a significant trade, and we'll see what happens in the NFL draft, Quinyon Mitchell, we know, is going to be a bona fide starter on the outside. I'm pretty sure that Howie Roseman is going to start, and this coaching staff, Vic Fangio, Keely Ringo, on the other side at the other outside corner spot. I think it would benefit Philadelphia, and it makes their defense better if they start Cooper DeJean in the slot, because I think it allows you to maximize his multifaceted skill set. You could take advantage of his versatility as a player, because when he's in the slot, he can guard multiple positions, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, but you can use DeJean as a hybrid linebacker. You can use him as a blitzer. You can use him as a disguise man. At Iowa, he did play primarily on the outside. He has the ability to do that. And I would imagine Philadelphia utilizes him as an outside corner at moments in 2025. But the point here being, you needed cornerback depth on the outside. And the Eagles have signed Adoree Jackson, longtime veteran who's been in the league since 2017, to a 1-year contract. And he will be a depth play for Philadelphia. And so now this cornerback room, you have Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks, who I'm still somewhat high on, and you add Adoree Jackson to the mix as well. Those are 5 corners who you have a pretty solid cornerback room. I wouldn't say it's a sure thing that Adoree Jackson is going to make the roster, but at the very least, you're bringing in a depth piece here who comes to the Eagles as a former first-round pick, all the way back in the 2017 NFL draft. He was taken by the Tennessee Titans, 18th overall. 5'11", $185. Some people might have misconceptions about where he's played. Oh, he could play on the inside. He is an outside corner. And that's primarily where he plays. That's primarily where he's played throughout his NFL career. A lot of you are very familiar with him because over the last few years, he has played with the New York Giants. So with the Tennessee Titans' first 4 years, with the Giants, the last 4, I will say his career got off to a rock-solid start after he was that first-round pick out of USC. When he was at USC, he was a human highlight reel. He was an electrifying player who was a really good corner, but he was an excellent return guy who had explosive play after explosive play on special teams. And he comes into the league 2017 as a rookie. He had 17 pass breakups. Year 2, he had 10 pass breakups. Then he started to get injured a little bit. Played in 11 games in year 3, just 3 games in 2020. And then he ended up signing, if my memory serves me correctly, a pretty fat contract with the New York Giants after losing the Tennessee Titans. And so he's made some decent money throughout his career. $51.2 million is what he's made throughout his career. And he did sign a pretty lucrative contract with New York. $15.7 million in cash earned in 2021, $10.5 million in 2022, $11.8 in 2023, and $1.7 in 2024. As far as his Pro Football Focus numbers last year, he did log 276 coverage snaps, 426 snaps total. 382 of those snaps came on the outside. And he had a coverage grade of 64.5, a run defense grade of 85.8, and an overall grade of 69. Not bad by any means. Played in 14 games with 5 starts. He had 5 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 28 total tackles, 1 TFL. I would say his best days are behind him. But again, this is going to be for minimal money, bringing in a veteran who's played a lot, 97 games, 82 starts, to serve as a depth piece if he makes the team. A little bit more name value as compared to player value, but again, it was needed for Philadelphia to address depth. And obviously in the NFL draft, they could further address depth once that comes around at the end of April. So your one-word reaction to this signing for Philadelphia, Adoree Jackson to the Eagles, 1-year contract. Let me know down in the comment section right now. Get your Eagles Super Bowl gear right now. And if you plug in that link down below, you'll be redirected to Fanatics. It's chatsports.com/EaglesSB. But if you use that link, you can get swagged up and swagged out. You can rock some Eagles Super Bowl 59 champion gear. You can also let Fanatics know that Chat Sports sent you. If you love what we do, it's a great way to support the channel on top of you just being here hanging out. You can get hats, shirts, jerseys, hoodies, myself and Chip. You already know that we've been going wild. Chatsports.com/EaglesSB. Even if you've already gotten gear, get some more because that Super Bowl win for Philadelphia is going to be remembered forever. So an updated look at our Eagles free agency tracker. Saquon Barkley getting that contract extension. Zach Bond, 3 years, $51 million. He stays with Philadelphia after a tremendous season. So Philadelphia really wanted to reward both Saquon and Zach Bond. Saquon, the offensive MVP. I think Zach Bond was the defensive MVP. And even more of the defensive MVP. Outside of, and over Jalen Carter, I should say. Eagles did trade Kenny Pickett to Cleveland in exchange for Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a 5th-round pick. Of note, both DTR and Kenyon Green took top 30 visits to Philadelphia in the pre-draft process. So the Eagles clearly had interest in both of these players, and now they end back up with Philadelphia. Ben Van Sumeren, 1-year deal. He can play linebacker, special teams, and fullback. A.J. Dillon, he's nearly 250 pounds. Think LeGarrette Blount with his running style. Hopefully he can stay healthy coming off that neck injury. Josh Uche, he had the 6th best pressure rate among edge rushers last year. Eagles bring him in for $1.5 million. Steal. Harrison Bryant, backup tight end, 1 year, 2. And then Adoree Jackson. I imagine it's going to be for a vet man. Very little cash being spent by Howie Roseman here for a veteran player. Don't forget to give me a follow on top of all of the YouTube content that I do here. I cover the NFL on my social media pages to a high level, reaching millions and millions of people. So be the most recent follower there on social media, and don't be afraid to say what's up. All right, $5 Super Chat coming in from the Brandon Mason Show. Hey, brother, let's connect for some interviews. A few celebs coming on the next show next week down here in Miami. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Always down to come on. If you ever want me, I just flashed the social media handle, so hit me up. Let me know. I see you're making it poppin' on YouTube. 43.6 thousand subscribers. Good stuff, man. Doing a lot of stuff covering the NFL. All right. I see you're doing a lot of live streams. Cool. Doing some good numbers over there. Yeah, if you ever want to have me on, let me know. Let me know. Good stuff, dude. All right, here's our Super Chat menu. Last call for Super Chats before we get on out of here.
About to do the jersey raffle, so if you want in on the jersey raffle, it's your last chance. Any jersey of your choosing, man. Not too many entries. 22 on the Niners side, 29 on the Eagles side. Last chance to get in. Whew. Got a classic Texas versus Texas A&M rivalry.
Oh, nice. Both teams going back and forth here. Texas probably needs to make it pretty far to make the tournament, right?
Yeah, I
18
saw
and 14, 6 and 12 in the conference.
Yeah, they but because the SEC is so good this year, Lenardi has them like first four out. They're like right on the outside looking in.
So they probably need to win a couple games here.
Yeah, probably win, 2 or 3 games. Trey Johnson. He's a guy getting a lot of buzz, man, as a freshman. Should be a top 10 pick in the draft. It's been knocked to the Sixers a few times, actually, but I don't think they would take another guard.
All right, let's do this. 2-minute Super Chat shot clock is on. If we get a $50 Super Chat, I'll do one more shotgun, then we'll dip out. Peter Thurmond, a $20 Super Chat. He said, let me in. We got you on the jersey raffle, my man. Of course, before we dip on out, we'll do our jersey raffle for sure. Peter Thurmond, since you're an OG, I'll give you a little shambong here.
You know you're in there, Peter. You know you're in there. That's your second one.
That's 3 signings for the Eagles today.
Yeah.
Josh Uche, Harrison Bryant, Adoree Jackson. And with the Niners, no moves yet. Candy! Another 20.
I feel like the Niners only make their moves past 7 p.m. Central. So
pretty much
5 p.m. on the West Coast.
5 p.m. Yeah, on the West Coast. We're trying to go to Katy Trail after this if you and Allie want to get a beer.
Oh, yeah?
Trying to get some people together.
Could be intrigued.
That's been the chatter. Alejandro! Let's go. Yo, guys. Yo, Chase. Are you going to the draft or are you doing the draft in studio? If so, can I sponsor some Modelo's for day one? Go Birds, defending champs. Yeah, man. We'll take down some Modelo's night one of the draft for you. And yeah, myself and Chip, we will be live for every single pick every single day of the NFL draft. So yeah, man. If you want us to do some Modelo's, we can connect here in the future. We'll definitely do that. Alejandro beats the buzzer, and that'll get him in the raffle as well. Can I see who's up in the money race? Jonathan Efrog, it's you, and then it's everybody else. It's you, and then it's everybody else. All right, you got another dad back there? No? Can you get me one by chance? All right, one more shotgun. We'll raffle off our jerseys, and then we'll head on out. I am going to do a Niners video that comes out here in a bit, so be on the lookout for that, but we're going to do that outside of live. Unless, on the Niners Report, if somebody sends in a $50 Super Chat that gets us over 500 for the day, we'll stay live, and I'll do another Niners video. Warm. Yeah, please. If somebody sends in a 50 on Niners, we'll stay live and we'll do a segment. And I'm going to explain why Niners fans should have some optimism about the future. Jimmy Ray, $20. He gets into the raffle. All right, let's ride. How about this? If somebody matches Jimmy Ray and sends in a 25 to his 20, or no, a 30 to his 20, we'll do that segment live here on the show. We're at $4.99 in Supers on Niners, $7.10 on Eagles. So I think that's 2 days that Eagles now won, 2 days that the Niners report won. Do we have to go live tomorrow? Settle the tiebreaker. All right, one more shotty for the gang. Cheers. Whew. Somebody sends in a 30 to match Jimmy Ray. We'll stay live. And Jimmy Ray, by the way, is a first-time Super Chatter. Shout out to Candy again. Thank you for another day, guys. Hey, thanks for continuing to be here. We'll get that Niners Report hat sent to you. Thanks for supporting everything that we do. Jonathan E. Frog said, yeet. Alejandro, that sounds good, man. Touching base as the draft gets closer. A little more than a month away. Pretty crazy. All right, let's raffle off our jerseys here. Chip will choose which channel goes first. Yes, bros. Taper Pepper got released. We did talk about that. Niners now in the market for a long snapper. After 5 years, Taper Pepper gone. All right, let's see who wins the jersey here. On Eagles now, Jonathan E. Frog. Lot of spots filled up by him.
He said he wanted them, so here we go. It'd be a major upset if he doesn't win this one.
It's going to be E-Frog.
Yeah, it was a little close there. Jack in the Box almost had it.
Jack in the Box almost had it. All right, E-Frog. You win again. I'll put that down on my notes. That's 2 jerseys for E-Frog. And we're going to send you the tapestry. So let's see. Thursday. We got Jonathan E-Frog again. All right, let's do Niners now. Let's do Niners.
Here we go.
Who's it going to be? 75 Dignan, you've been there. It's going to be 75. Some big-time supers today from 75 Dignan. And 75 gets the win. 75, remind me. Have we connected via email yet? We'll pop my email up at the bottom of the screen. Send me an email with what jersey you want, what size, and your address. chase@chatsports.com. You see it down below. And I'll mark this down here in our notes for Thursday. Candy, I have you on the hat giveaway. And then the jersey giveaway. 75 Dignan. I'm trying to remember if we've connected via email before. We have not. All right, so send me an email down there. You're our Super Chat MVP today. I'll wait to see your response there. Chase@chatsports.com. Got Jonathan E. Frog in there. All right. Let's see here. While I'm on this, I got to put my relish order in for Monday. Can't forget. With our code. Let's see. Let's see. Sean Barry, is that 75 Dignan? I'm pretty sure it is. All right, let's see. Coupon code. All right, bet. I got you, brother. By the way, I think we're $1 away from 500 on Niners. $1 away from 500 on Niners. $75 Dignan.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Had to get there.
Way to send us out with the Bang Bang Niner gang. Good stuff. All right. So we talked about all three signings that the Eagles made today. It all started with Josh Uche this morning. Then Harrison Bryant, the tight end. Uche, a pass rusher. And then Adoree Jackson, the corner. Niners not making any moves yet today. But with how everything has gone this week, they'll probably make a move later tonight. If that happens. I'll be doing it here on the show. Did give you a video earlier talking about some free agent options for San Francisco. And so we're going to do another video here after we sign off talking about why Niner fans should be optimistic for the future. So stay tuned for that. That's going to go up on the channel. John Oden chased the Eagles side of Adoree Jackson. Yes, they did. The corner headed to Philadelphia. That video is about to be up on the channel if it's not already. And Candy, another $10 super chat. One more. Let's hit that and then we'll sign off. 509 Niners. Candy, one of our super chat goats this week. Thanks for all your support. All right. Candy, I'm going to put you down for a jersey. How about that? Candy, I'm going to put you down for a jersey. Or no, we gave you one yesterday. We put you down yesterday. So Candy Winslow, we got you for the jersey yesterday. I'll send you the hat, though, for the Niners. So how about that? We'll send you a jersey and a hat. All right, good stuff. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Gonna try to go live tomorrow. It's gonna be a part of the plan. I'm going live with Krug at 12:45 Central, so 1:45 Eastern, 10:45 out there on the West Coast. Then I'm gonna do a KNBR hit with him too for his nighttime show. So if we go live, it'll be a little bit later tomorrow afternoon. Be on the lookout for that. We'll do an Eagles and a Niners video early tomorrow morning. We'll put that up on the channel. If they make further signings, we'll, of course, discuss those as well. Thanks to Chip for being a legend. Thanks to all of you for being legends. And we'll see you soon. Peace.